Good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Heart channel where we do what? Focus on healing humor, a hot motherfucking topic. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the thumbs up. Hot topics, I'm sorry. Hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up, and get your nosy ass in here so we can get into this Dear Deja. Dear Deja, I have a real dilemma on my hands. Let me turn this phone this way. Dear Deja, I have a real dilemma on my hands. So, I have a man, and I've had that man for the last 6 years. We went through some shit back in March that rocked our relationship to its core. Honestly, we just got back on good terms Labor Day weekend because he took me away for my birthday. During the times when we weren't really rocking or fucking, my friends rocking or fucking, my friends and I took a girls trip to Puerto Rico for the 4th of July weekend. One of my friends on the trip, man, also took a guys trip at the same time, coincidentally, and our friend groups linked up out there. Shit was lit. I'm not going to lie. Oh, let me put on my glasses. I'm not going to lie, it felt like a couple's trip, especially because me and one of my friends' mans hooked up on the trip. But that's all it was. We were on vacation, and what happens in San Juan stays in San Juan. I got back home, forgot all about him, and me and old boy ain't speak since. But we may have to speak now. Why the fuck I went to take a physical for my new job I'm about to start, and the doctor takes my blood and tells me I'm pregnant? I wasn't too thrilled about the news because one, I wasn't anticipating hearing that. Two, I don't have any pregnancy symptoms. And three, I have not missed one menstrual cycle, but I assume that's because I must be still in the very early stages of my pregnancy. Why I follow up with my GYN is she reveals I'm 14 weeks. 14 weeks? 14 weeks ago, me and my man were on the out, so ain't no way this is his baby. Deja, there is so many things wrong here. First off, I can't be pregnant by a man I barely know. Secondly, I can't tell a man that I swore I forgave for their infidelity that not only was I unfaithful as well, but I also was stupid enough to get pregnant. And last but not least, this new job offers an opportunity of a lifetime. I cannot have a baby now. What am I going to do? Send help, sign. If this is payback, just say that. Ooh, child, girl. Be glad. Oh, this needed to be vodka. Let me to. Girl, I hope this is recording because it don't look like it. Girl, I know you fucking liar. Okay. Okay, so what it sounds like happened is that back in March, let me get the information correct. Back in March, your man must have cheated, right? And when he cheated, you was mortified, he was mortified, y'all was mortified. Got it. So when he cheated back in March, y'all broke up to September? Because what you said in the letter was like y'all was on the outs and y'all was on the outs when you went to Puerto Rico. You went to Puerto Rico for the 4th of July. The incident happened in March. You said y'all didn't get back on good terms until Labor Day. So that means that you and him was not rocking all the way from March to September. So, what do you mean not rocking? What do you mean not rocking? Do you mean not rocking in terms of we were no longer in a relationship, or we were still trying to figure things out and we just wasn't being intimate with one another? What does not rocking mean? Because that's important when you go to try to have this conversation with your significant other, if they even choose to have a conversation. Number one on the list, I'm pro-choice. So I don't tell folks to keep babies. I don't tell folks to terminate babies, right? I am pro-choice. So whatever you choose, just make sure that you're making the best decision for you and you're not solely thinking about these men and how they're going to feel. Because at the end of the day, listen, you fucked up. You ain't do the best that you could, but it happened and a baby is involved. And you want to make sure as a woman and as a maybe soon to be mom or not, that whatever decision you're making, you can live with. Let's just start there. Right? Let me be very honest and clear about that. I understand you made a mistake and listen, everything in life happens for a reason. So just make sure if you decided to keep or terminate, that whatever decision you're making, you're doing what's best for you. Start there, right, girlfriend? Because you don't want to look up 5, 10 years from now and be miserable because you did something that you're regretting, right? Okay, that's that, right? Secondly, like I said, it all boils down to what was the status of you guys' relationship. So if in March you decided to say, listen, I can't be in this relationship no more. You have rocked me to the core. I need a break. So on and so forth. You have to kind of clarify what that means. Because I know I have been in situations, right, with my spouse where right now you did some bullshit and I'm not fucking with you, right? So I'm off you, right? That's one situation, right? But then it was another thing where it's like, no, you did something and I need a break from you. We can't be together right now. Because if you actually said that we can't be together, then at that point you're free, right? Technically you're free. Are you free with the intention of getting back? Or are you just free until we figure this whole thing out and you didn't know what your intentions was? You have to be very clear, right? My other concern is that, did you use protection? Because according to you, you didn't know this guy. Y'all only hooked up those couple of days or weeks or however much time you was in PR. You didn't have any conversation or connection or anything with him after the hookup. So why didn't you use protection, or did you? What happened there? Right? And because you saw no future with this person and you had no intention on being with them, you should have been super duper careful with that situation, right? So was it that you didn't use protection? Did the protection break? Is there a possibility his sperm could have got? Like, how does that whole part work, right? Because when you go lay this out for this other man, you got to be very clear and sure about what you're sharing with him if he wants to hear any of this bullshit. So I will say, sis, I genuinely feel bad for you because this is a messed up situation, but you kind of put yourself here. Not to mention, it seems like you're pretty far along, so you have a really, really small window to make a decision, right? So you need to figure out, like yesterday, what it is you want to do. Before you get to these men, you need to figure out what it is that you as a woman can live with. Which is, if you're saying, listen, Deidre, I can't live with either A, having a baby with a guy that I don't know and don't want to be with, or B, I can't live with having a, well, that's the only option you have, because it doesn't sound like it's even an option for it to be the other guy's baby. So if that's not something you can live with, you have to do what you have to do. But if you're saying, listen, I don't care who's the pappy of this baby, I'm still moving forward with having my child, then as long as it's a decision that you can live with. But that's what you need to figure out, numero uno. Numero uno is, what are you going to be comfortable with as a woman? What is something that you can live with, right? Once you figure out what you can live with now, right? Now is the time to figure out exactly how far, do timetable now. So be sure that A, you're exactly where the doctor said you are, which is, I think you said 13 weeks. You go back, you calculate the weeks that you were in San Juan versus where you are now. And also you make sure that you know that you and your partner that you're with, you guys weren't intimate at that time. Because another thing is too, if you open up the can of worms where I don't know who baby this is, you may never get your spouse back, whether it's his baby or not. Because he's looking like, so wait a minute, let me get this straight. Not only did you cheat on me, but you went and got pregnant? Absolutely not. So even if it is my baby, I can still co-parent with you, but I probably don't want to be with you because not only did you cheat on me, you thought you was pregnant by this person. What the hell happened there? Right? So you don't want to open up that can of worms if you're not sure. So you got to do the timetable to be clear that there's the only thing that could be Deidre is that it's this other guy's baby. Now, if it is the other guy's baby, right? And you have concluded that, you know what? This is my child and I'm keeping it, right? You and him need to have a serious, serious sit down. Because you don't know this guy. You said it yourself. I don't know this man. We hooked up a couple of months ago in Puerto Rico. You didn't say you were speaking to him after the fact. You didn't say you seen him before y'all ever went there. You just said, no, I found him appealing while we were on vacation. And I said, hey, what happens in San Juan stays in San Juan. So you have to go have a conversation with this guy, right? Now, when you have the conversation with him, remember, you're already clear at that point that I'm having this baby. So you're basically just going to inform him. Now, he can say whatever he wants, and you have to be fair and letting him have his say-so and his opinion. Even if you don't consider it to make any changes to how you feel, you have to at least hear him out. Because he may also feel like, bitch, I don't know you. I don't know you. He may also feel like, bitch, I use a condom. That's not my bad. Like, there's a whole bunch of feelings and emotions that could come off of him as well, because you also didn't say in your letter that he tried to contact you either after the fact. So he may be on the same page as you, which is, sweetie, that was there. I'm done with that. Right? So for you to now come and be like, okay, you're pregnant. Girl, I don't know you. Right? So that's what makes it, hard, because it's like you're telling me something that I can't comprehend because, again, I don't know you. So he may say some really harsh things like, maybe you're a whore, right? And again, sis, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you, sis. But you have to understand where that mindset will come from, right? Which is, I don't know you, right? You slept with me and didn't know me, right? We haven't spoken since, and now you're here telling me you're expecting a baby and you have a man. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of my... Right? So that might be ugly for you. I know you are hopped up on emotions because you're pregnant and you don't want nobody speaking to you that way, but I promise you that that's a possibility that could happen. So you have to keep that in mind when you going to share this with him, because he may look at you crazy, right? If he's on a whole mindset of that's not my baby and yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm getting a delivery. That's not my baby and so on and so forth. That's also something he has the option of saying, right? You have to allow it, because this is a situation you put yourself in, and he put himself in it with you, but he's not the person that's carrying the baby. So after you go and have the conversation with him, you have to decide what you want to do with your relationship. Which is going to be even harder, because let's just say you say, well, Deja, I would still want to be with my man. Okay, sweetie, how? Because I can't imagine that your man is going to want to be with you and you're pregnant by somebody else. And I can't imagine somebody knowing that you're pregnant with their baby is going to be okay with you being in a relationship with somebody else, because that means you and somebody else fucking on my baby. So sis, you might have to chalk up losing the man, and I need you to mentally be prepared for that. And I know it sounds crazy to say, because number one, this is very hurtful. It's very hurtful for you to have to mentally prepare to lose your relationship, because truth be told, it sounds like after y'all went through what y'all went through, y'all worked it out and y'all still wanted to be together. Right? So to have to mentally prepare for the fact that you might lose the person you actually do know and love and want to be with. And on top of that, you're now having a baby with somebody you don't know at all. That's going to be a lot for a person that is pregnant. As you said in your letter, you may also be losing your career opportunity. That's another blow. So all of this is going to be a lot to take in, right? But I need for you to understand that it's a situation that you put yourself in. So mentally, although it's a lot to take in, it's a situation that you put yourself in. And in order for you to prepare with how to deal with this, you have to come and get your healing heart session. Because mentally, with you experiencing all your pregnancy hormones and all of these people around you and all of their feelings along with your own, that can be a lot on a pregnant person. But the long and the short of that is you're in a situation that you put yourself in. What I will say, and this is just me being optimistic, which I always am, is that Even though it's a situation that you put yourself in, I feel like God also put you in it for a reason. What if when that man cheated in March, you were supposed to leave him? And because you forgave him and you took him back, God said, well, okay, that's what you're going to do? You're going to forgive him and take him back? Well, let me put you in a predicament where you guys have to separate. Babies are blessings. So although your child is not coming the traditional route, babies are blessings. You know? So maybe this situation, as crazy as it may sound and as hard as it may be to stomach, this right here might be your biggest blessing. You never know what you and this guy come materialize into. You know? Maybe it was meant for you to move on from that last situation and now to start moving forward into a new one. Maybe this is what your future looks like for you, even though that's not the way you foresaw it. It's a lot of ways to go here, but the thing that you must do is you must take accountability and be responsible for the fact that you're not in this predicament for no other reason other than you put yourself in it. And you may have done that subliminally for a reason. Maybe you did want out this relationship. And I know you're going to have the conversation of, was this payback? He has every right to feel that way. And if he does, that's a conversation that you need to be willing to have if you want to maintain some sort of friendship with him. Was it payback? Who knows? Girl, come get your Healing Heart session. Come get your Healing Heart session. We're going to talk about it. You guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. I love you guys, and I will keep you posted with all my dear DJs. See you on live.